Hi, my name is Wanda Kogan. I go with Kui Kogan just to make it short. And I chose two interview questions. Tell me about yourself is one. And number two is what major challenges and problems did you face and how did you handle them? And a little bit about me. I'm originally from India and I've been living in the United States with my husband for last 8+ years. All my schoolings are done here in the United States, and I worked many parts of India, mainly with children and women, as well as I worked in Thailand. I worked with children there, and especially children from a very difficult background. And right now I'm working with children here in the United States with a foster care home. The age group here that I'm working with is from 10 to 18. But most of my life, I worked with children from age to 3 to 18. Doesn't matter which part of the world that you go to, that I learned one thing, children are all very similar. Doesn't matter, it's a cultural differences, language differences, traditional and country differences. Children are children, doesn't matter which part of the world that you go to. And I learned over many years that one child is not the same as other. Everyone has their own gifts and talents, and you have to really learn to work with each child in their own way. Working with children is not something that is a cookie cutter, like, it doesn't apply to all the children all the time. Yes, there are some basic fundamental what we should do with the kids, but basically that you need to work on one-on-one. And I am planning to get a child psychology. My end goal is I want to help the children who come from a very difficult background, and how to show them the way that there is always a way for them. Doesn't matter how difficult their past, or there is always a future that is ahead of them, that they can come overcome many challenges that is put in their way. And I have a lot of experience working with children with the different culture, different languages, different age groups, and different upbringing. And that brings a very unique knowledge for myself to working with children. And one of the greatest thing that I think for me to work with children is I am very fond of them, and I really have a heart. Doesn't matter which part of the world the child comes from. I have a heart for a child, and I can really make a huge difference in their life. And whatever I learn from my career, my universities, or even with life experience, I think I can offer them a good pathway to choose whatever they choose to do. And my second question is, what major challenges and problems did you face and how did you handle them? Because I lived most of my adult life in the in India, and when I moved to Thailand, Thailand is it's a very different country, and that language is different, culture is very different. So when you come into a new place, the first challenge is you need to learn the language in order to help the children. So that was a huge challenge for me, able to learn the language, number one, and able to work with the children, number two, because the Thai people have phobia for their dark skin. And you can see in the video that I'm not a very fair skinned person. So it took a lot of time from my side, and as well as from the organization that I was working with, for the children to feel comfortable with me. And that has been a huge challenge. And I really learned, how kids look at each person in a very different way. And learning a foreign language, it wasn't easy, but because I had the heart, I had a desire to work with these young children, and they really taught me how to pick up language so quickly when you're working with them. So that was a real challenge for me. So anytime I come up with challenges in my life, I hope I overcome it and able to work whatever the situation and circumstances that was presented before me to make it best for the children that I work with.